When we think of the 9, there are definitely more questions than answers. With Destiny 2, it has introduced new lore and sprung possible theories, but it's still a big jumble that hopefully one day will be solved. But today we're going to further analyze some secrets hidden in the Unknown Space Crucible maps and theorize exactly where this location may be. Alright Guardians, welcome back to the channel and I hope you're having an amazing day. So today we're going to discuss the 9 Unknown Space and speculate about where they are and, well, what they are. Now some of this is backed by Grimoire and lore cards, but I wanted to clarify this before we, start getting into this, that it will sort of teeter off the edge a bit with some speculation. That's what I love to do here on the channel, make lore videos but also speculate about what's to come. So definitely keep that in mind as we progress and I do hope you enjoy. Let's first begin with one of the latest Crucible maps added within Forsaken. This has to do with Unknown Space and it's titled Equinox. So the Equinox map here has a lot of mysteries planted in plain sight that I'm sure most people missed when you first played through it. Now I'm not sure how much I can decipher for myself, but that's why I'm showing to you so we can work together and try to figure this puzzle out. So first we begin here in the middle of the map and notice a couple of things. To the left we see a building with a golden sphere on top of it, and to the right we see a giant building symbolizing a pyramid. Let's go ahead and venture over to each of these separate buildings. First, the spheres. Now here it's worth noting that the callout for this specific area is golden spheres. We can assume that this symbolizes the traveler, and that's what this whole spawn area may be involved with. Here's what we have around the area. The other building or spawn brings us to the callout Black Pyramids, and well, we can see these pyramids right here pointed towards a sphere in the middle. If we head back outside, there is still more to check out. First, on top of the whole map, we see a giant pyramid with some sort of streamers like we see in the other Unknown Space locations. Just below that on the side of the building, we also have even more solar system or planet models that may represent something, right? Maybe these are places the traveler touched and were destroyed by the darkness before, like the Fallen's homeworlds. Now if you guys want to dive even deeper and check out like, hey, are these planets or these moons or whatever, you can tell me down below where this may be and what they're trying to symbolize. There's also another solar system model on one of these spawn sites, I can't remember, but it seems there's something in the middle here, either a planet or a star, and there is 7 bodies orbiting around it. Lastly, we have the skybox and the setting. If you look out towards the horizon, the first thing you thought was, where the heck am I, right? The quick answer is, we have no idea. Well, kinda. It seems that wherever we are is near some type of gas giant and is around a black hole with other worlds or moons. Now the 9 do rule the Jovian worlds beyond the reef, those being, Jupiter, Saturn, and so on. So if this was Europa, lore-wise it would make sense, but is that sand out there or is it snow? And again, we're by a black hole, so it doesn't really add up. If you stuck around the Emissary of the 9 long enough, the first couple of trials runs in the last year, she says a bunch of different quotes like this one. Listen in the direction of the Corona Borealis supercluster, pierce the lightless void beyond the northern skies, and meditate on the hissing silence. Now just this quote itself led many people to believe, hey, it might be in that general direction of the universe, right? The Corona Borealis supercluster. Now that definitely is interesting because a lore card from Destiny 1 actually backs this up. It says the 9 arrived in a mysterious transmission from the direction of the Corona Borealis supercluster. And while that, card does list a bunch of things the 9 possibly are, some of those even jumble together, and there definitely is a connection between the quote from the emissary and, again, that line I just read. The social location for the trials is in fact the third Spire, which is around the same location, but something is kind of different here. It seems that the Spire orbits what we think is this black hole, or something's moving around out there compared to the other 2 Crucible maps where we're locked in position. In this third Spire, we do see silver light. Now remember that for later because that's kind of important. There we also go down the giant vortex in the middle and arrive in a room with a giant emissary, pick up our rewards, there are stars, and also a random horse chilling in the corner. Bungie here could have just thrown in a horse for the fun of it, but that doesn't really make sense, right? It's got to be representing something in terms of constellations or space to do with the 9. So if we turn our head to the stars and take a look at the Corona Borealis, is there anything out that way that could tie to this? There does seem to be an interesting lead, and it's called the Dark Horse Nebula. The Dark Horse Nebula, or Great Dark Horse, sometimes called the Prancing Horse, is a large dark nebula which, as seen from Earth, obscures part of the upper central bulge of the Milky Way. This Dark Horse Nebula lies in the equatorial constellation Ophiuchus. So that weird constellation Ophiuchus actually has starburst galaxy NGC 6240 in it. At a distance of 400 million light years, this butterfly-shaped galaxy has 2 supermassive black holes 3,000 light years apart. Now, I'm no astronomy major, but in terms of a video game, there can definitely be some connections made, right? I also do believe I saw this constellation is close to the Corona Borealis as well, which sort of adds to all of this fire. Now when I did a search for black holes around this area, I found this article from 2014. It says RxJ 1532, extremely powerful ultramassive black hole discovered. The first sentence says, this specific black hole lies in the constellation Corona Borealis, about 3.9 billion light years from Earth. Pretty cool. Now we dive into some more speculation. So it has been theorized previously that the 9 are related to the Harmony. This was a species that was wiped out by Oryx long ago, like many of them were, and like with humanity, the Travelers stuck with their race and helped them along the way. What's kind of cool here is that the Traveler aligned the orbits of 10 Harmony planets, including their homeworld and a Harmony, around a black hole. In the black hole's polar jet, the Traveler built what they called the Gift Mast. This giant machine was hollow and radiated pure silver light, which allowed the Harmony to live. The Harmony eventually figured out, hey, we can weaponize this black hole to fire plasma jets later on, and that became one of their main focal weapons when it came to battles against Oryx and his fleet. Now with all that, the point is there is some similarities there as well. Not saying it's true, not saying the 9 are the Harmony, but who knows. The problem is we don't know where the Harmony worlds are, but who says it couldn't be near the Corona Borealis supercluster? The Gift Mast created this silver light which allowed the Harmony to live, and on these maps, like the third Spire, we see this silver light portrayed on the ground. You may be asking, well, why is the emissary awoken if the 9 could be the Harmony? To be honest, I don't know. She's an emissary that was awoken from the beginning and may not actually be what the 9 are at all according to New Forsaken lore. But the Awoken are also referenced in that Destiny 1 card, remember? The 9 are the firstborn Awoken and their minds now raised down the field lines of the Jupiter Io Flux tube. But Guardians, that's all I got for today's video. A lot of information to digest, but it's always fun trying to put the puzzle together and figure these things out together. I mean, heck, this could just simply be Europa in another timeline with a black hole involved because space magic. But if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for some more awesome Destiny 2 news and entertainment. Hope you have an amazing day or night wherever you are. My name's Evade and I'll catch you Guardians in the next one.